Welcome back to Morgan Dollar Mondays with Massabesic Gold and Silver. This week we're going to be looking at the 1921 Philadelphia Morgan Silver dollar, so I hope you stick around for that. I am Dean with Massabesic Gold and Silver. Thank you so much for stopping in and checking out my channel. Out of all the channels on YouTube, you decide to see what I have to offer, which makes me pretty happy, and I hope you even stick around to leave lots in the comments letting me know what you think of this video and other videos that I have produced. So yes, we're going to be looking at two 1921 Philadelphia Morgan Silver dollars. One of them is graded by PCGS, the other is graded by NGC. Both are great examples, and feel free to guess the grade. Put it in the comments of what you think the grades are on these coins. But I want to dive into a little bit of the history, the distribution of these coins, and what is different about the 1921 Philadelphia compared to the previous years. So, right off, it has a huge mintage of 44,690,000. Wayne Miller writes, because of the enormous mintage and because the 1921 escaped the sweeping silver dollar melt of 1918, the 1921 Philadelphia is the most readily available Morgan dollar in circulated condition and surely accounts for more than 10% of all Morgan dollars currently in existence. So it's fair to say that every coin collection has at least one 1921 Philadelphia Morgan silver dollar in it. Bowers writes that the distribution of the 1921 Morgan dollar seems to have been more or less continuous from the 1920s onward. Soon these became very common in areas in which dollars circulated and in bags of mixed dollars in banks and other locations. By early 1964, most dollars seen on Nevada gaming tables were this date. Mostly Philadelphia issues, but many of Denver and San Francisco as well. Bags of the 1921 dollars were a drag on the coin market, and dealers in bags often posted buying prices for bulk, except for the 1921 Morgan dollar because it just was so common. I will say how both gentlemen, Bowers and Miller, talk about these coins, especially the luster. Bowers points out the luster is typically satiny rather than deeply frosty, but quite a few are grainy or dull. Neither one of these Morgan dollars that I have to show you today, I think, are grainy or dull, but I will say you will notice the difference in luster. I do have a coin here. Let's look at this one here, this 1880 San Francisco, just to compare the luster between the older Morgan dollar design with the newer one of the 1921. And you can just see, just looking here, that you'll start to notice the difference. You can really see the frostiness on the 1880 San Francisco, especially on the devices. The luster overall just has a completely different look compared to the 1921, and I have to agree, very satiny luster that you see here on the 1921 compared to its predecessor. Wayne Miller talks a lot about the 17-year gap or lapse of time since the minting of the silver dollars from 1904. He wrote that the Morgan dollar was redesigned on both obverse and reverse. And these coins, I want to point out those little subtleties. I notice them now very easily, and so I want to show them to you if you're new to collecting Morgans. So let's start with the obverse. On the obverse, the eyelash is now missing on the 1921. The hairlines are much more deeply etched compared to the dollars of 1878 to 1904. And there is no crease above the chin. And the chin is also kind of tucked up much more toward the nose of Lady Liberty. You can almost see it's almost like an elongated chin that kind of points upward to Lady Liberty's nose. Overall, I think the design changes, I don't think it hurt the design, but it definitely is noticeable. The changes of the hubs and everything on these coins, it can get very complex, but basically these coins are much more shallower. Let's talk about the redesign on the reverse. The eagle's breast is much more flat compared to its predecessors. The arrow feathers, you'll see, are parallel, similar to the original 1878 Morgan dollar. And the stars on the coin are actually much larger than the original coins. You will notice here in the legends all these die cracks. That kind of goes to speak to the fact that these dies were heavily used, were really almost wearing out with all these cracks. It shows that the dies were breaking in the process of the minting, and that they were just continued to be used to get this massive amount of coins into circulation. Now, going back to what Wayne Miller was talking about when he said that the 1921 Philadelphia Morgan dollar was poorly struck, and many had an abundance of abrasions, these two coins don't seem to have that look. These seem to have a strong strike. You can see all the details. Yes, some areas of the coin might look a little flat, but that has to do with the redesign. Overall, you can see all of the features of Lady Liberty very easily. Same with the eagle on the reverse. And you can, yes, see some contact marks here and there, but nothing that is covering the surface of the coin with some examples that I have seen. This coin, yes, does have some marks here and there. Yes, there's a mark on the plastic here. So as I turn it here in the light, you will see some little marks, but most of that is just on the plastic itself, not on the coin. Again, on the reverse here, you can see just how nicely struck the eagle is. You get all those fine details. Yes, the breast feathers are flat, but remember that has to do with the redesign. That does not have to do with the minting process. I do like that they added a little M here on the ribbon. That's not really there on those previous years, or not as noticeable. Just really nice overall. You can see the surfaces, or I should say the open areas here. Just a really nice looking overall. It just has a nice appearance. The luster's nice. I'm not really sure what's up with the little toning here and there. It looks like almost like some of the water on the coin from the mint process kind of stained the coin, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not really sure what that is from, if that's original to the coin or if it's something that happened later on. But I don't believe these coins were dipped at all. I do have a 1921 Denver here to look at. This is where the mint mark is. This is not a micro mint mark. Some people I'll hear say that because it does look a lot smaller. But no, that is the size for the Denver mint mark, and the S for the San Francisco mint mark is also quite small. They are not micro. That's exactly what it was supposed to look like for the 1921D and 1921S. Overall, just looking at this coin, like just turning it here in the light, you get a sense of this beautiful satiny luster. Overall, I think both these coins have a great look, and I hope you did put in the comments what you think the grade would be on these coins. I know I talked them up a little bit, so I hope you guess well. Obviously, both these coins are mint state. Yes, it can be a little bit harder because they do have such a significant look, or different look, to them compared to the 1878 through the 1904 Morgans. But again, I hope that doesn't deter you from picking up the 1921, the fact that it is so common and the fact that it can be hard to find a nice example. Like I said, I think both of these examples are quite nice. That's why I wanted to add them to my collection at Massabesic Gold and Silver. Overall, just looking at them here, just they look great. This one here, if you guessed that it was a nice gem grade of Mint State 65, you are correct. You win the prize of the day, which is a smile, I guess. This one here, I was able to pick it up relatively cheap. And this is a 1921 Mint State 64 with the CAC sticker there, so it has the stamp of approval from CAC. I will say that I do love the old green labels with the CAC green bean, so not the reason why I bought this coin. I thought the coin looked fantastic, and clearly PCGS and CAC thought so too, for it to get that nice Mint State 64 grade. Overall, I think they're comparable coins. I would say that yes, the 65 just has a little bit nicer look, a little bit less abrasions on the coin itself. But I will say I think I like the luster more on the Mint State 64 than I do on the 65, but I'll leave that up to you guys to put in the comments of what you think the coins look like, and I love to hear your opinions as well. But I will say the reverse here, the 65, is just really, really beautiful as I turn it here in the light. I wouldn't say it's quite flashy, but it is really nice, original mint luster. Just really nice. And just to remember, when looking at these, they do look different from those older Morgans to some degree. I know for many collectors, they don't notice those differences, but as you handle more and more Morgans, you do. Well, thanks for joining me, everybody. And until we meet again, stay safe and continue to enjoy.